This time, my periods has gotten really, really chaotic.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Me First podcast. Today is episode 13 of season 2. One of the topics that we are going to be talking about today is probably one of the most popular topics that women experience in menopause and perimenopause. But before I do that, my name is Marge. This is Ria, my business partner, cousin, and a very good friend. Let's do some check-ins. How are you doing today?
Hello, I am doing very well. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
Awesome. I am good. I am good. I was thinking about hey, I typically do an intro and then Rhea and I would usually talk about the weather and whatnot, but I have not had a check-in with you in terms of your perimenopause journey. How are you doing? Do you have any new symptoms? Do you have symptoms that have gone away?
This is actually a very good intro, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Where am
you've been in
I?
it, what now? Wait, you started at 38, right? And you're 43
I
now, so
started
we're
38.
talking 6 years
Yeah.
into perimenopause.
Yes,
Let's
it's
talk
going to be
about it.
seventh year soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, right now, okay. Right now, I was doing better, and I still am doing better. But I feel like this time my periods has gotten really, really chaotic. And so,
What do you mean?
because I was doing cyclical progesterone since until December last year. But then I couldn't time it anymore. Like you should stop taking progesterone before your period, but it wasn't, I don't know when I'm going to have my period. Sometimes it's every other week. Sometimes I don't know. I don't understand. So I decided to tell my doctor that I think I'm going to opt for continuous progesterone. So since progesterone, it's thinning the uterine lining, right? So while I'm taking the estrogen patch, so I'm having a continuous, a lot of spotting, and my period is still erratic. But I guess it said that it's normal. The doctor said it's normal. It's gonna pass in like maybe three months, I would say. So I'm still waiting for that. But
So-
that's where I'm at.
Help me understand. You went for continuous progesterone, and so the 3 months that you are in, does that mean that your body is regulating, or is your body kind of calibrating on the
Yes.
continuous progesterone? Okay.
Yes, that's what it's doing. And well, at the beginning, when I first tried progesterone, I was feeling a lot of bloating and mostly bloating, I think, or indigestion, but only like for a few weeks, and then my body went back to normal. So I felt a little bit like that when I did my continuous progesterone. But oh my gosh, I've never slept so good. Like I love it. I love the continuous progesterone. So yeah, and what else? I am dealing with cravings, and I eat a lot.
Like
I'm
sugar?
hungry more than usual.
Like what kind of craving?
No, sometimes it's just bread, and sometimes it's just hungry. I'm hungry and I want a lot of food. I don't know why. Appetite is just so crazy right now, so I don't know what's happening, and I'm just waiting. I think it's gonna pass. Maybe it's got something to do with the period. I don't know. I don't understand. So, yeah.
That is really interesting. I'm glad I asked that question. So this is 1000% complete ignorance on my part, right? Because I was probably on perimenopause before I had my hysterectomy. And
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've experienced a lot of what you're talking about. What about anemia? If you're having a period every 2 weeks, are you in danger for anemia?
I'm actually scheduled for blood work this week because my husband is complaining about me always feeling cold.
And that's
I'm
a
always
sign.
cold. Yes, he said you should go check because you're always bleeding. So maybe you have low iron levels in your blood, and yeah, so it's good. I scheduled for blood work, and it's gonna be on Tuesday. So I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna update you on our next episode.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Wow, this is really interesting. I'm glad. But beyond that, no other crazy symptoms,
no.
itchiness.
No.
So I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you the reason why I asked that question was for about a week now. I was starting to know. I mean, I sleep okay because I have the supplements and I have the progesterone. I'm actually on 200 progesterone now. But I've noticed that when I go to bed, my head itches like crazy. Like
Until
pins and
now?
needles. Yes. Well, before it used to just be my ears, but now I feel like it's my face and my scalp, and it's like tiny little pins and needles everywhere. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? I just don't understand. Last night was probably one of the first nights that it was better, but damn, for a whole entire week, it was pretty crazy for me. So, yeah. Anyhow.
Could be related, huh?
It could be. I'm gonna look into
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna give it some time too, because I know that kind of symptoms just kind of come and go periodically, and it's one of the more. It's a little bit annoying, but I'm gonna admit it's probably one of the more tolerable ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Anyways, April is Stress Awareness Month, so I think it's a perfect time for us to be talking about the belly fat mystery. That is actually today's topic, and before we get into the real talk, because I know you and I talked about this maybe last year about how you had noticed that you've been eating the same, you've been working out the same, but you're realizing that your tummy looks different. And I think I've had a similar experience. So even if you are in perimenopause and I'm in menopause, you and I kind of had a similar experience where you're like, hey, what in the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Tell me more. Let's go back to your experience when you started noticing belly.
Oh, yes. It started with feeling bloated a lot. Always bloated. I'm eating the same food. Yeah, that's when it really, really got so intense that I had to do something about it. First, it was anxiety, right? And the next hardest thing is the bloating. I'm just always bloated. It's so weird. Even if I don't eat, I feel bloated. So that's when I started researching, and then we came up with Mind in Motion. And what else? I don't anymore because Mind in Motion helped a lot. Even with our other customers who tried it, it helped a lot with bloating. But I guess my problem now is because I used to have a small waist. It wasn't a problem. I would get fat in my thighs, my arms, but never around my midsection. But hey, this is what midlife is, I guess. So it is, I'm noticing more fat there, visceral fat probably. It's not as bad as I want it to be, but it's not where I used to be, and I guess that's okay. But I'm just putting more effort into what I eat, and I just make sure that because insulin resistance is a thing in midlife, right? As because of the estrogen shifts.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember as I went through this whole entire menopause thing, I used to weigh, I'm going to share it. I used to weigh 178 pounds. And life happened, and I kind of went down to 148 and then gained a little bit of it back, went up to 165 and down again to like 158, which is kind of where I'm at today, pounds. But I'm noticing that I have this, I'm like, is this fat or is this skin? It just won't go away. And it's frustrating. And I'm sure a lot of women out there are experiencing the exact same things. And so the one challenge that we think, or the one challenge that we are encountering is because we think that we are gaining weight, we need to work out so much harder. But working out so much harder is kind of the issue sometimes.
Yeah.
Because talking about where this is all coming from, when your estrogen declines, it kind of moves fat storage, you know. Like I remember when I used to gain weight, the first one that would gain would be my arms, my thighs, kind of like you. And if I ever lose weight, those would also be the last ones where I'd lose weight from. My belly would always be the first to like shrink. That's not true anymore, because when we go through this estrogen decline, we end up with more cortisol, and when we're stressed out, and the cortisol increases, we get body fat, we get visceral belly fat, and then you couple that with our age. Just so you guys know, if you didn't know this already, when you go through perimenopause and menopause, our body goes through a muscle loss. And when you don't, because muscle is what, metabolizes our everything we eat and all that stuff. If you have less muscles, metabolism will naturally go down, right? And so, and then we talked about this, you mentioned it, insulin sensitivity. It's going to make it easier to store fat, and then you don't sleep, and then you get hungry, and you get crazy cravings. I wonder if that's where your cravings that you're talking about is coming from.
I think so. I'm a bit worried about. That's why, aside from just going for glucose blood test, I am actually gonna go for, what do you call that, fasting blood sugar. There's another test, I forgot the name, but it's more to check of the real status of your insulin resistance instead of just your fasting glucose.
You know what? That's actually a good thing to look at. Yeah, I forgot what that test is called. My doctor tested me for that for my two most recent lab is insulin resistance. I can tell you I am insulin resistant, which is why GLP-1s would help me, but not as much as it would help most other people. Like people who weigh like 180, 200 pounds, they go on semaglutide and they lose weight right away. It's not going to work for me. It may work, but I would have to go on a really, really high dose because of insulin resistance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Something you could look into. Talk to your doctor about it. I mean, if you want to, you could probably go on a Wegovy or Manjaro or one of those things. I've seen a lot of people benefit from it, and trust me, I'm not against it at all. It's not just for, just so you guys know, it's not just for weight loss. It helps regulate blood pressure. I've seen it like in people where their cholesterol have gone down. Significant like improvements in health. So you may not be losing weight, but it could also kind of help you regulate, the things that we're encountering right now.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's a good check. Go get your insulin.
Yeah, that's a
check to
very good
see
idea.
if you're resistant. Yeah. Absolutely.
It could be.
It could be it. There's so many reasons. I'm gonna tell you though, over the past 18 months, since I've been studying because of what's going on with me, and then you and I got together, we started talking about perimenopause and menopause. I had significant improvement because how long have I been on Mind and Motion now? Since November. So November, December, January, February, March. We're now in the 5th month of Mind and Motion. I can honestly tell you that inflammation has gone down for me. I am insulin resistant, which is okay. I can live with that. I'm definitely a lot more regular. I did learn that if I'm going to take Mind and Motion, I cannot take it after. So my rule of thumb is just don't take it after lunch. So I just take it between breakfast and lunch. And it definitely worked. So yeah, when you go to your labs, check for all of those. Actually went back and checked my labs for like the past 2 years when my inflammation was high, and definitely an improvement on those.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk solutions. I think every episode,
it's the same one.
every episode we are just going to add protein every time we talk about solutions. Nag everybody for protein. Aim for consistent intake so that you can support your muscle and your metabolism. What do you do? I know you strength train.
Yes, I guess what's nice about my routine is I do a lot of strength training. I've done less the past couple of weeks because I'm trying to learn how to play golf. So it kind of takes some time off my strength training, but it is very important because, like you said, muscle equals metabolism. So,
Girl.
And
Keep talking.
no. Yeah, but, no, it's okay. But I mean, yeah, I really have to keep doing strength training because muscle is, if I do have insulin, if I am developing, and I hope not, that I'm developing insulin resistance, then that could fix it along with being mindful with what I eat. Protein.
Truth be told, I mean, being insulin resistant is not necessarily a bad thing, but being educated, if you are or if you're not, could kind of help you address different things. And honestly, you know what addresses insulin resistance is protein. Yeah. That's what my doctor told me. I was going to say, your strength training, how many pull-ups can you do now? I've seen you do pull-ups. That's pretty crazy.
It depends where I'm coming from. But if I can reach the floor, I could do 10. But if I couldn't reach the floor, I could do probably 5.
That is
She
crazy. I
knocks.
can't do one. I cannot do one.
Oh, you build it up.
can.
I learned pull up 6 years ago, and it took
Oh,
me
yeah?
months before I could do one. But you
You're
can
first?
absolutely, yeah.
Gosh, I think you're Wonder Woman.
There's,
think you're
there's
Wonder
a lot
Woman.
more people who are
Yeah.
Wonder Women. Yeah.
But, going back to cortisol and stress, just a reminder, everybody, your belly fat is actually coming from your stress levels nowadays. So you need to learn to kind of manage your stress and be intentional about it. How do you, what makes you, what kind of de-escalates stressful moments for you? And I think probably self-awareness. You don't just address your stress, right? Because a lot of us will do some meditation. We're going to go for a walk. We're going to go outside, get a breath of fresh air. Those are all reactive ways to address stress. Be proactive and intentional in addressing your stress too. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of forget to do, because we have a tendency to kind of just accept, oh my God, my life is stressful. It is what it is, blah, 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 blah. Well, figure out what is causing that stress and address them. Instead of being reactive, start finding ways where you could actually proactively address the stress that you're experiencing. Because there are ways, and you can do that, And then, of course, you got support your metabolic health, and gosh, get some sleep.
Oh yeah.
He was just talking about, yeah. Well, you talked about this earlier. You said, when you went through straight progesterone, you got a lot of sleep. So a lot of you ladies out there, if you're noticing that you're not able to sleep, the reason why you're waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, by the way, is because your cortisol probably hits its peak around that time. And it's very common. So I say, if you guys are, you're finding yourself that you're not able to sleep, talk to your doctor about progesterone. Like even just 100 is probably going to help. Mm-hmm. I honestly think, sleep has a significant impact on our life. And that's kind of true ever since we're babies, right?
Yeah.
Babies who don't sleep are cranky.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, so if a baby gets cranky for not getting enough sleep, what more somebody like us who's kind of going through a significant transition. So those are probably the things that I would totally look into if you're having issues with that belly fat. Anywho, that was a lot to talk about. Let's talk about your Me First promise for the coming week.
My Me First promise is, first of all, I have to go. I can't wait to get my labs done, my laboratory blood work done. So, and then I'd be able to address my situation, my hanger. I get hangry. My hanger situation and my cravings, and I just want to eat everything. Well, to be honest with you, my husband calls me a lumberjack when it comes to food because I eat more than him. But lately, it's just, I don't know, I'm always hungry. Yeah, I have to check on that. That's my Me First promise, to prioritize that for now. Yeah.
My Me First promise is I need to be consistent in my protein. I nag my mother, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not doing a very good job for myself. And I notice it because if I eat protein, I actually end up eating less. And if I don't, like Chinese food, which is a lot of carbs, I notice like if I were to go to, we're in Vegas, there's a lot of Chinese buffets in the area. If I go to like a Chinese buffet for, let's say, like a late lunch, like a 1 or 2, or brunch at 10, I'm almost always hungry after a couple hours.
Right.
And so I need to be better. I need to, because, you go to a Chinese restaurant, it's so carby. You feel full so quick.
It tastes so good.
It does.
The umami is real.
It is. The oil.
Yeah. It's so good.
I'm all getting dreamy. I'm thinking about Chinese food.
It's hard.
Yeah. So I definitely think I need to be better about my protein. And man, I'm having to learn new recipes so that I could add a little bit more variety in my protein, because now I'm comfortable, and I'm like I was telling you earlier, I'm like having to teach my mom to be a little bit more disciplined and intentional when she eats protein. So we know how much protein to eat in a meal, but even then it's like, what other kind of protein can I have? So I'm looking into like different recipes.
Yeah.
I have a business trip coming up. I'll be in California for the next week, and so what that's gonna do to me is probably like wreck my diet again. But I think when I come back, there's like 2 or 3 like tofu recipes that I want to learn how to make.
Good.
Food has been in social media so much, and I saw this shrimp and tofu recipe, and I'm like, I'm gonna try that when I come back.
It's fun actually, yeah. TikTok,
I
seeing
think.
recipes on TikTok. I copy a lot of recipes on TikTok, and
Do
they're
you really?
fast and they're good. I do, yeah.
Because
And they're
I'm a
really good.
lazy cook. Look, I'm not a bad cook, but cooking to me is a chore.
Me too. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because some people love to cook. Like they
My
enjoy
husband does.
cooking. Does he? See,
Oh, yeah.
I know people myself like really enjoy cooking and they prepare, and I'm like, I don't do that. I cook
No.
so that I can nourish my body,
Yeah.
and that's it. We're gonna move forward from
Same.
that. So, and I absolutely, and this is probably, I want to say lack of effort, but not really. I have like no interest in making like any kind of food look more appetizing. So my food presentation skills are probably -10.
That's okay.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to help. Like if you look at food, and it's
Yeah.
funny though. Like I would go to a nice steak restaurant and I completely enjoy how they present. Oh, how they present like the food and how it comes plated and pretty. I don't know
Yeah.
why I can't do that. Maybe that's why I enjoy eating out.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we have come to the end of our podcast. Remember, belly fat in midlife is common, and it's not random. You didn't get randomly chosen to get belly fat. So when you understand what's driving it, you can actually respond differently. So everybody, be part of the Me First movement. Like, follow, and share this video. Subscribe and follow our socials at the Awendra and Awendra Health. We are on all of the socials, and we post on menopause coaching tips, and all of them for free. If you have any questions or whatever you can think of, post it in the comments and we'd be happy to answer them. Ria has studied quite a bit on supplements, probably more than I have. And I am a certified menopause coach. I know people charge a lot of money out there. I'm not going to charge because I really have no time to put a practice together, but I want to be able to support everybody who follows our pages. So just post your questions in there and we can talk about it. And lastly, subscribe to this Me First podcast, where we put ourselves first without guilt, because if we don't, who will? Everybody have a nice day. We will see you next time. Goodbye.